couple of videos before. Gilson, we did one originally. The first one we did of you was back in 2018, September 2018. I think you came to Mill Road in January 2018.
Yes, I did.
And obviously quite a lot's happened since then. And if you could just tell us what's going on basically with your position and what's happened since, I suppose, beginning of lockdown.
Since we launched workplace chaplaincy, a lot has happened. We didn't even anticipate there was going to be COVID-19. But when COVID-19 came, it disrupted everything. I haven't even had an opportunity to visit some of the businesses that I'd established friendship with along Mill Road. Some of them have since closed down. I remember there's a hardware shop that was a shop away from Mill Road Baptist Church. That one is closed down as well. They went away when I was, because when COVID started, I was due for my annual leave in August and my sabbatical. So I've been away and up to November 2020, and I was not even able to meet some of the business because there was lockdown on top of another lockdown. So it has been really difficult. And then because of the situation of COVID-19, the church itself could not fund or maybe to keep a full-time minister. They asked me to look for another church. So in the process of my sabbatical and holiday, I was looking for a church. And eventually I found a church that called me in Ilford, that is in London. So I'm going to Cranbrook Baptist Church in Ilford to be their minister. I am moving from Cambridge on the 13th of February, but on record, I've already started. I started on the 1st of February. I'm officially the minister of Cranbrook Baptist Church as it is. So as I move on, John, you were there when workplace chaplaincy was launched. Gale knew of the workplace chaplaincy in the background because as ministers in Cambridge, we were discussing about it. So as I'm moving away from Cambridge, Gale is going to take over workplace chaplaincy so that he doesn't die a natural death. I think John will be saddened to see workplace chaplains dying. But hey, we celebrate. Gale has said, well, this can't die. I hold the bull by its horns. So Gale will be taking over workplace chaplaincy.
Oh, right. Not Gale, where's your church then?
Okay, so I'm minister at Zion Baptist Church, which is on East Road, but it's at the junction of Mill Road. So the top of Mill Road, where Petersfield is, that small green area. We are very well known for our connection with Jimmy's.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy's Cambridge operates out of the adjoining building to us.
Oh, right. So you're staying there, but you're just taking over the chaplaincy. You're not coming to do. What's happening with the actual church on Mill Road then, Gilson?
The church on Mill Road, for the time being, because of the financial situation, as I understand, they are not able to have a full-time minister. They might look the route of having a student minister because a student minister is reasonably easy to fund. So this is the knowledge that I have so far. So in the time being, they will be inviting guest speakers to come and preach in the church.
Will it have a service every Sunday then?
They do. Even now, it's done online as most churches now because churches are closed. So they're all doing all their services online.
Oh, right. So Gale, you'll have some new parishioners or whatever you...
It's not quite how it works because Baptist churches are what's described as congregationally led. So many will have a minister that pastors, but the way in which we operate, there's quite a lot of scope for what we might describe as lay people to actually help lead and facilitate things. So it's not uncommon for a Baptist church to operate for a period of time without a minister before a new one arrives, or to have a part-time one. So Mill Road Baptist Church will continue as Gilson has outlined. But we also work together. So I may be the minister of Zion Baptist Church, and whilst Mill Road Baptist Church is without minister, they may turn to me or another local Baptist minister for support. But equally, when we're involved in projects that serve the local community, something like Mill Road Workplace Chaplaincy, there is nothing stopping us working together. It doesn't have to be linked entirely to one church. So that's the hope, definitely, that we'll be able to work together, as long as individuals have a sense of commitment to this work, and they feel it's something that they are called to do. Then we can work together in that way across the two churches to make sure that the businesses, the workers along Mill Road are supported through the chaplaincy.
Is the workplace chaplaincy of Mill Road going to be the full length of Mill Road, or?
And so I think at this point it's about, I'm fully committed to being involved in the work and serving the businesses. It's about assembling other people as well, and then we will see what's possible, what we're able to do. But certainly the hope would be that we'll be able to serve a good amount of the businesses across Mill Road. I've been out with Gilson and met some of the workers, and it was lovely. That was just before Christmas, so that was lovely. So I know some of the connections that he's made, and certainly would hope to continue them. But yeah, it's this season we find ourselves in, seeing what things look like when we come out the other side, in terms of businesses are there, what their needs are. And so in the meantime, just assembling people that are going to work with me to help serve the businesses, the workers.
Right. Oh, good. Well, at least it will carry on in some form or other. And Gilson, you said about the tea and chat thing that used to be on a Tuesday. Is that going to be carrying on, do you know, or is it still undecided as to what will happen now after?
That will be entirely up to the church leadership if they want to continue with that. Something that might handicap them is the manpower to do it, because most of these things you need manpower to help you. So if they decide to carry on or to stop it altogether, I have got no idea, because as it is now, what is left in my authority is now the men's, because the one that I'm moving in, they are still doing some work. But as the church itself, I've handed over the building to the church leadership. So I've got no say anymore.
Can I ask a question about tea and chat on Tuesday? Tell me about it, because it's not something I'm aware of. Tell me how it worked.
Yeah, what actually happened is, well, I can say wherever we have been, we have established tea and chat, because it's actually a meeting hub for people who are not church-based. So it's just people in the community, they come and have a chat together as a meeting place. So what we do in that gathering is we provide tea and biscuits for free. So people will just come and sit around, and most of the time it's done by Jania. But if she's not, if she's busy somewhere, I usually do it. So it's actually a meeting point for people.
And what time of day does it normally run?
We were running from 10 to 12, John, yeah? If I can remember well, it's 10 to 12. But other places like in East Sussex, where we were starting at 9. Okay. And you find out some people, actually, they volunteer on their own. They say, no, you cannot keep on giving us for free. let's have a donation basket where we can drop something. It's voluntary. So we find out in one church that I was, per year, we actually raised through that collection basket, we raised 1,002 with the pound the people drop in there. So we were not charging anything, but people actually said, no, let's do it this way. Put a donation basket, we'll donate something. And they were donating. So it's actually a good meeting point for people.
Yeah, it was beginning to sort of pick up a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It takes, I don't, how long have you been in the area for, Gale?
Oh, I've been in the area since September 2016, so quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right. People are a bit reticent, aren't they, to come into a church, and you know, so people just poke their head round and they see what's going on, but it takes a long time to build up, doesn't it? But in the end, how many people would you say were regular, Gilson? About, must have been at least a dozen to 20 people, was it?
Yeah, I think about a dozen people were regulars.
It's just a shame about this COVID thing, and the future of the whole of Mill Road, I think, is going to change quite drastically, isn't it? Especially with this bridge closure, because that's not even if people start going back to normal after everyone's had their vaccine in maybe the summer, we could maybe hope for, then the bridge is still going to be closed, isn't it? So
yeah, it's certainly very quiet, as you say. There's a lot less footfall, for sure, visibly. So, and I think this is technically the third lockdown, isn't it? We're in lockdown 3 technically, because we had another one in November. I wonder how many more businesses this is going to be the final straw for. So obviously we've had a number of closures, but I have a feeling that this third lockdown may be the final straw for a significant number. I think there were a number that were hanging on by the end of second lockdown. So we'll wait to see, but I would not be surprised if a significant number closed by the time we come out of this third lockdown, because the government at the moment is talking about possibly not easing until end of February, early March, and then only slightly. So for some businesses, they may not be able to reopen in any full sense of the word, possibly till April. So another 4 months for some of these businesses, it may prove to be too much. Yeah, indeed, we've been Zooming, as we say, Zoom services since November. So we haven't reopened our building since November.
How do the numbers correspond to the people that would actually turn up at physically to what come up to Zoom? Is it?
I think for us it's quite good. I would say 3/4 maybe.
Yeah.
On Zoom. I would say about 3/4.
Yeah, via Zoom, it looks like the numbers are up. Because you find some who are not even church people, they do attend. Because in our congregations, we have some married people who are not both Christians. The husband sometimes doesn't come to church, only the wife comes, but when it's Zoom, you find they are sitting together. So it puts the numbers up as well.
And I think there's also some variation in terms of consistency, because there is, how do I describe it? Zoom fatigue.
All right, okay.
Within some particular age groups. So if you're a student, for example, and you've got a lot of your lectures online, at the weekend, you don't necessarily want more Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, so, and again, similarly for some people who are working at home and a lot of their meetings are online. So there's a level of Zoom fatigue, I think, that's experienced. Well, not just Zoom, but online church fatigue, if I was going to be more general, and different activities. So I think it will be good when we're able to gather in person again.
Yes, indeed.